Smash that like button if you agree that The Miz has nothing left to do in the WWE. If anything, he's a waste of high salary. He's an overpaid mid-card guy. Right now, he's better off leaving.
By the way, perfectly said, Mike Jack. So there's this rumor about The Miz possibly getting released by the World Wrestling Federation. So, what are my thoughts? What if it's for the best? Now, hear me out. A lot of y'all are hung up on nostalgia. Okay, we get it. You've loved The Miz for the past 15, 20 years. But how long, though? Are you crying about The Miz possibly getting released because you hate Paul Levesque, you hate TKO? I'm like, hold on, bro. For the past 10 years, you people have not liked The Miz. You've said awful things about The Miz. You called him boring. You called him soft in the ring. You said he can't wrestle. But the moment there's a rumor about The Miz possibly getting released by the World Wrestling Federation, you want to be pro-Miz? Man, fuck off, man. Stop being clout chasers. It's either you always liked The Miz or you didn't. It's like all of a sudden Miz is mega over with the IWC just because he might leave, just like Ron the Truth Killings. Bro, you've been asking for The Miz to be released for the past 10 years, man. Fuck off. Fuck off with your recency bias. Stop lying, stop capping. It's very trendy to outrage over the TKO group every time they release your favorite fake pro wrestler on the roster. But you never liked The Miz. So you might be getting your fucking wish. Oh, but you want to cry about The Miz possibly leaving, but when he was under the Vince McMahon regime, you wanted The Miz gone. And now, all of a sudden, you want The Miz to stay? And you think, oh, Paul Levesque and TKO, Nick Khan, they're evil. They released Ron the Truth Killings. They released Carlito. I'm like, nigga, fuck off, man. You did not care about Carlito. He was a comedy act, low-tier, mid-card guy who was mostly known for backstage segments. But eventually, bruh, that bell has to ring. You cannot keep cashing checks based on doing backstage segments, playing with your PS5. Eventually, bruh, that bell has to ring and you have to draw some money. That goes for R-Truth. That bell has to ring, and at the end of the mother effing day, I'm sorry, but R-Truth, his skills have been declining. So I'm not shocked that R-Truth got released, but you have to keep that same energy. You want the World Wrestling Federation to build around young guys, but here you are crying about The Miz, crying about Ron the Truth Killings, crying about Carlito. Make up your mind. This is why I don't take any of you seriously when you complain about fake pro wrestling. Ever heard of be careful what you wish for? You wished for The Miz to be released. Now, what are my thoughts about The Miz? The Miz is one of my all-time favorite fake pro wrestlers. I've been watching The Miz since he was on The Real World. So, me and The Miz, we go way back. Hell, I have his action figure at my house. I'm a massive fan of The Miz. I've never said not one bad word about The Miz. Hell, if I was a fake pro wrestler, I would want to wrestle like The Miz. Injury-free. But let's say he does get released. It might be for the best. Because what has The Miz done under the Paul Levesque regime? Nothing. It feels like The Miz was more so a Vince McMahon guy. That's what he was. He was a Vince McMahon guy. The only championships that The Miz has won under Paul Levesque were those tag team titles with R-Truth. That's about it. So let's say he does leave. It might be for the best because The Miz has a backup plan. The Miz could be an actor, a TV host. Hell, he can go to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling so The Miz can run that fade with MJF. That's a dream match. So what if The Miz does leave? Why not go to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling to run that fade with Max? So this might be for the best. What more can The Miz do? There's nothing left. What are the odds of Paul Levesque giving The Miz an IC title or a US title or a world title? He's never going to be a singles champion under Paul Levesque ever again. So he might be better off. Ask yourself this, what more can The Miz do? He's won every championship, multiple time Grand Slam champion, Money in the Bank winner. He's won everything. And now that The Miz is now in his 40s, well, what more can The Miz do in this company if Paul Levesque was never a fan of The Miz? I believe that The Miz should go to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling, not TNA. He needs to go to All Elite Wrestling so he can run that fade with Max. Who else? Ospreay, Omega, Jericho, Adam Coleslaw. Why not? Let's book Adam Coleslaw versus The Miz. The Miz has tons of opponents if he were to leave the World Wrestling Federation. Okay, how about this? What has The Miz done for the past 2 years outside of winning those tag team titles? Because now he's the manager for Carmelo Hayes. But what has Carmelo Hayes done under The Miz? Nothing. The Miz has been losing matches. His job is to put people over. Recently, he put over Malachi Black. That's his job now. His job is to put people over. So why would you bitch and complain if The Miz does get released? It might be for the best. He's doing nothing. He has a jobber position. He's a Hall of Famer, and yet he's being booked like a jobber, a job guy, a jobber manager. Carmelo is doing nothing with The Miz right now as we speak. What is his prospects? Nothing. Nobody elevates when they hang around with The Miz for the past 2-3 years. Nobody gets elevated. So it might be for the best if The Miz leaves for All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. I guarantee it, that's where he's going. Can you see The Miz as a future World Heavyweight Champion? Nope. Can you see The Miz beating John Cena? No. Can you see The Miz beating Cody Rhodes? Nope. Can you see The Miz beating Jey Uso? No. There's nothing left for The Miz in the World Wrestling Federation. So him being released, it might be for the best.